Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lady Layer. Not when I don't know the name of the show, but the Lady Layer. Hey y'all. Listen,
Welcome.
it's been one of them weeks, okay? I didn't even know what day we recorded this week. That's how it's been one of them weeks. But welcome.
Right.
Thank you
We
guys
made
for
it.
watching again. We made it to it's Friday. Woo woo woo.
So we didn't get a chance to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville on Tuesday. So we're going to discuss that really quick. And then we're going to get into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Real Housewives of New York, reunion, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and also Salt Lake City reunion, which was Womp Womp. But we're going to get into
we're gonna touch on.
Yeah, we're going to tap on that because it wasn't nothing to talk about. We don't want to talk about Brittany. Okay.
Right.
So.
And we just gonna tap on New York too, because we talked about Brynn enough last week, and that was all this episode was about.
All it was about. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville, have to recollect because it was a few days. But yeah, so what did you think about the episode?
So I thought it was okay. I thought that Carlos King was definitely trying to be the 8th cast member because he was throwing all the shade. Like, Andy never does that. Like, I need you to watch a reunion with Andy. Like, yeah, Andy, he like makes his jokes or whatever, but it ain't like negative, like attacking. Yeah. Like, he was coming for everybody.
I agree. I was like, okay, I get it. Make a little joke here and there, but it was like you said, it was like he was a member of the cast and he was coming for people. It's like, so I can see why people have issues with him on the cast because if he does that all the time, it's like, come on. You're supposed to be the big boss. You're supposed to be professional. You're supposed to be non-biased.
Right.
And you making fun of people's outfits. Like, you just cracking jokes like left and right. It was a bit much.
And he was coming hard for Martell. Like, when they was questioning him about the court stuff, he would not let it go until Martell said what he wanted him to say. It was like, I feel like half of the reunion was about Martell and him trying to get him to admit what he did in the trial.
And I feel like it's a way to do that because, yes, he has a responsibility to ask the questions that the people want to know. But at the same time, like, it's a way to do it. Like, I feel like if he would have had a little bit more finesse with it, he could have gotten more out of Martell. But Martell felt attacked. He didn't know what to say.
Yeah. In his tight suit.
Right. I don't understand it. I know you're getting it tailored. So why aren't you? Do you want to walk funny? Like, he's like
he lucky he's not a woman because he for sure will have a yeast infection. Like,
right. Like, bro, you can never walk straight. You can't put your arms down. You can barely sit down without something busting. So I'm just like, ooh, I don't know. So like Katrina said, they got into Martell about the case with him and Melody. They asked Carlos asked Melody if Martell was convicted or whatever, and she said no, he pled guilty. And he's like, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And like, okay, well, explain it to us. And that is what happened.
Right. He literally went around the world to say, I pled guilty. But he's trying to say he didn't plead guilty to what she was saying he was guilty of. And it's like, don't you know, like, just because you didn't plead guilty to what they're accusing you of, it doesn't mean that they didn't make an allowance just so that they could get your guilty verdict. Like, they could have lessened the charges just to end the trial and save money.
Right.
Like,
and I feel like that's what happened. It's just like, okay, well, we can't technically prove that it was X, Y, and Z because it was only a screenshot. But you did the way that he worded the text message and then putting the photo immediately after. It's like it was threatening. Like if you wouldn't have posted the text message, we wouldn't even be, the photo, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So he went all the way around the world.
Right.
And still denying, like, no, that's not what it was for. It's like, okay, well, the charges was harassing communications, but because you harassed her with the photo.
Right. You couldn't get harassed in communication without you trying to bully her and post this photo. Like, let's just be for real. It absolutely has to do with the text message that you sent. Right.
And I'm actually glad Marceau said what he said because it's like, bro, this was your wife. and you would do something to her that she did within y'all's marriage, like that's supposed to be private, like you, and then you sit up here in the wedding, like looking at her and saying how much you know you he didn't say regret, but like you thinking about that should have been us and stuff. There's no way you could have those same thoughts and then do something like that to your wife.
Right. And it's a show because it's very performative, because if you felt like that you would have handled her with care, you would have not been cheating, because there's no way you could think you could be out in these streets and get to a 30-year wedding renewal. Like,
and you know your wife.
Right.
Like once you embarrassed her, because I feel like she knew he was like cheating or whatever, because they said she knew about the cheating before they even came on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But you went out and had a baby. She was probably trying to like work with you, trying to, help you get through whatever you had going on.
She told him on the first season, she was talking about respectfully cheating, and he was not respectful.
No, you blew it. You blew it, because she clearly, for a woman to say that means she's trying to stick by you and she's willing to work with you, but she wants you to be better. Stop being sloppy, and then you go and have a baby,
right?
And you buying this woman cars.
Two babies, because I think the first time she got pregnant, she got an abortion, and then the second time she had the baby.
Yep. So it was just completely reckless, and it's just like for you to still sit up here and try to make excuses for it. Like, boy, own it. We've all seen it. Right. It's been all over the internet. Just own it so we can all move on.
Right. Like, if you don't want them to keep talking about it, how about you take some accountability so we can move on to the next subject? Because once you take accountability, they ain't got nothing to say. It's like they look stupid still talking about it. It's like, okay, well, he already said this. Like, why you keep going harping on it,
Yeah, he could have just said I was in my feelings and I shouldn't have done that to her. But that would be him admitting, but you pled guilty.
Right. He already admitted it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think he was embarrassed, just like the whole comment with Carlos changing the words and saying that he was rooting for Tisha and Marceau. Right. And like, I never said I was rooting for them. Well, what you wishing them well? Yeah. Is rooting for them.
Right.
He's like, I ain't they cheerleader. Nobody said that.
But he sound bitter. Like, why aren't you their cheerleader? Aren't they your friends? Like, I'm always cheering for my friends. Always rooting for them to have the best. Like, why wouldn't you be? Like,
well, they into it right now. He done
is giving hater
whole smear campaign about their relationship, and I think it's like what we talked about before. He is upset that whatever Marceau got going on, he ain't got caught.
Right. It's very much giving hater.
And he actually has a ride or die wife, because she probably, I think in the back of her mind, she know that he ain't upright with everything. But like she said, I ain't never seen no evidence of nothing. Right. So if she wanna be blind to it, that's her business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then we talk about Marcel's DUI, and it kind of got heated. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it was gonna get that heated because him and Melody already talked about it. But I guess when you actually see it on TV, it just makes it that much more intense.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he was going at Melody. Kimmie was coming at Melody. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't think I've seen Kimmie that upset in a long time. Like,
right. But I get it. It's like you coming for my man and we supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
So, but the behind the scenes stuff that I heard, because Melody went live before the reunion aired. I didn't see the live, but I did see a clip of it. And she was basically saying that production put her up to asking about the DUI, because they had asked everybody on the cast, like, we need to bring it up. It's in the media. And she basically everybody else said no.
Yeah.
And so she was basically willing to bring it up. That's why she was like, well, it's all in the media. Everybody's talking about it. And we're on this show. Why wouldn't we talk about it?
Yeah.
And so,
and I feel like she's a big part of the show. Like, she also like helps to keep the show running. Right. So that's why they feel like they can come to her to bring up stuff that people don't want to talk about.
And she said that she spoke to Kimmie about it afterwards, because after they shot the scene, she said she talked to Kimmie for a 20-minute phone call. She had her screenshots and stuff. She said, we had a 20-minute phone call. I let her know that production asked me to bring this up because it is something that's going on. We need to talk about it. And she was like, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And then Kimmie's like, I know how this stuff go. Like, it's whatever. I know how this stuff go. So she didn't say like, oh, she was cool with it, but she understood. Yeah. And so she said, so when she started coming at me, I was confused because I was like, we already talked about this. You told me don't bring it up no more. And then you want to have a conversation with me and I don't want to talk about it because you said we wasn't going to talk about it.
Right. Make up your mind. What we doing?
Right. And so we're all confused as viewers because I'm thinking as a viewer, like, well, y'all supposed to be friends. And if my friend was going through something like this on TV, I would not bring it up. I would be like, somebody else got to talk about it because this is my friend. Like, I'm not going to put her under the bus like that. Like, if this were me, I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me.
Right.
But at the same time, like you said, Melody is a person that helps keep the show afloat. So if production is asking her to do this, that's her job. She got to do her job.
Right.
So I can understand why Kimmie was coming so hard because it's like, then it wasn't just the DUI thing. It was the lipstick and nobody was talking about that.
Yeah. It's very annoying that she always tries to make somebody be unfaithful.
A cheater. Just because your man cheated, everybody got to be a cheater. Well, quiet as it's kept, they say that they all used to cheat together. And so I think because Martell kind of spilled all the beans that of all the stuff that they used to do, Melody is like, hey, you guys are acting like y'all husbands wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I like upset her that the light is only shined on their relationship. But it's like, your husband was the one that got somebody pregnant.
Right. He was the most trifling. There are no Marceau babies. There are no Maurice babies. And even if they were, he said he was passing out NDAs, so we'll never know. Like
literally, there's no women coming forward. This show has been on air for a while.
Right.
No women are coming forward. You guys make these allegations every single season and nobody comes forward. Let it go.
Yeah. And now he got Arian piggybacking with the accusations going on there, putting random people on live.
Right. Like, where did y'all get that girl from?
Right.
So yeah, the discussion got heated. Kimmie and Maurice were very politically correct in their answers when Carlos was coming for them in the questioning, and I feel like he did too much because they're not on trial here. Like on this stage, they are not on trial, and I feel like when somebody is going through a court case, you should respect the fact that they haven't had their day in court yet.
Right. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he had to give politically correct answers because if he hasn't had his court case, the court can use what that he says on the show. Like, I'm not going to answer the questions that you want me to answer. After I've resolved this case, maybe I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about it anytime before then.
Yeah. I feel like it's irresponsible to push for that. Like, allow them to say their piece on what they feel like they want to say. And if they're leaving it at that, let's leave it at that. Because and I think that's why a lot of the cast members are speaking out about him and how he goes about things, is because it's like, you don't protect us. You say we're family and like all this stuff, but this is real life. Like, this is not like just some drama on the show. This is my real life. And you want me to incriminate myself?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It made me think about Potomac because, like, granted, Karen, like, she didn't have her trial. She couldn't say a lot of stuff either. But like, I don't know. It's definitely giving that. I hope it don't have no body cam video coming out after.
Oh, no. So I heard yesterday that his case was dismissed.
Oh, good.
Yes. So he had his day in court. Breaking news. I was like,
right.
He had his day in court. I was actually watching Carlos King review the episode, and he said that Maurice had his day in court and he was it was dismissed. So
good.
You know, Maurice is a lawyer, honey. He knew what he was doing.
Right. Hopefully, I don't know which one it is, whatever prejudice it is, where they can't try him again later once they get some more evidence.
Right. Because it could be the fact that they didn't have any evidence. And he did say that he kept saying, like, whatever is out there, but you all see in the end. I mean, Karen said the same thing, but
right. That's why I was like, it was giving Karen 2.0, but yeah. Speaking of Karen 2.0, this actually should have been in the buzz layer. What is Marcus Jordan doing? Like, when did he become a cokehead? Like,
listen, you guys, people do coke now like it's marijuana.
Oh my God. And then like they had a body cam video of him. Like, granted, he's not drunk, so he's not slurring or anything like that. But this man, he talking about he just made a right onto the train tracks. And the police was like, yo, you are way down. There's no way.
There's no way.
Right. You've been driving on these train tracks for a long time and now you stuck. Like,
and he's like, I'm Michael Jordan's son. I can't do anything wrong. Well, you did.
Right.
And we already have footage of you doing coke at the dinner table, so we know you be on that stuff.
Right, you heavily on that narcotic. Like
you at the dinner table, and it's so casual. That's what I'm saying. Like now, it's like was it the 80s that they used to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, like the 70s or the 80s.
There, people say that like, and we've also seen a lot of celebrities come out and say like, "Oh, I'm sober," and they're not talking about alcohol; they're talking about coke.
Right.
Especially like in Miami and like places like that. It's just normal. Like it's like they have it on the table, like with the chips.
Right. Like, it's like caviar.
Yeah, it's like the caviar of the party. It's you know, and then when they say like, oh, you trying to go party, that's what they mean. Like do drugs. Like especially doing hard drugs.
Right.
Weird.
Right. Yeah. Lord, I hope we get it together. Maybe we gonna see he going to rehab soon because I don't know how Michael gonna be dealing with that. Like,
are him and Larsa still together?
No, they broke up.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe at least like 6 months ago. I feel like they broke up over the summer when he was in, I think that was like Ibiza or somewhere doing coke. She was like,
that's why.
She was like, that ain't on me. I don't know. Like, I don't know nothing about that. But honestly, she probably was doing it with him too, low-key.
Yeah, I mean, there was mention of her doing it before. And she made a joke about it. So she's like, yeah, everybody does coke. Oh, no, that was her. That was the other girl, Lisa.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, everybody does coke. I'm like, okay, that's what y'all be doing in Miami. Miami has always had a reputation for that, though. Like, that's their
Miami Vice scene. Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. I forgot why I put Kimmie and Melody. Was that because of the case?
Yeah, that's probably going back and forth. But I feel like we talked about that already. Yeah. So let's move on to Love and Marriage. Is it no? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Yes.
So this is new guy on there. His name is International Nova, and they show him at some party with his wife. And he gets to meet Scrappy and like all these people. I don't remember everybody that was at the party.
But Kirk and Scrappy, Kirk, and Lil Zane. Lord help Lil Zane.
Yeah, and Rashida was there, and somebody else.
And I think Kendra.
Yeah,
Rashida, Kendra, and Sierra.
Yeah. So his wife was there and she like mentioned that he mentioned, I guess, like, cause his wife has never dated anybody in the industry. And they were talking about how she always comes with him to the studio because she doesn't trust that he's like not going to be around other females. And I just felt like that's weird. Like if as a wife of an artist, like they go to the studio so often, like I can imagine feeling like I have to go to the studio and babysit him every time he wants to control. Like that has to be exhausting, especially with like the amount of time that they spend there. Like,
right. I'm like, and where is the trust? Like, why marry someone if you can't trust them around the opposite sex at all? And she never mentioned, I guess we'll find out, but has he ever given you a reason to think that he was going to cheat? Because the way he speaks, even amongst the other guys, and correcting them and like and the things that they were talking about, he's like, that ain't me. I do not agree with anything Zane said. Like he seems very upfront about, you know, what he's for and what he's not for. So with them having a man like that, unless, like I said, we don't know, maybe they have a history of him cheating or something. Because to me, that
maybe it's just like the stereotype of him being an artist.
But I'm like, if you trusted, this man took 2 years off to have a baby with you, spend time with the family. Like he seems like a man, if everything he's saying is who he really is, he hasn't given you any reason to not trust him. So it seems like she's just very controlling and overbearing, and like she reminds me of like a Jackie Christie who was like, nope,
I gotta going to every basketball. Yeah.
They're so paranoid about something happening that it seems as though you just don't trust your husband. And that's not fair to him or
it's
you.
not healthy, right?
At all.
Like I wouldn't even date somebody that I couldn't trust. Like I'm not about to be
No.
stressing, wondering what you doing. Like that is not any way to live. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's no way to live. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see. And she kind of seems like she is gonna be like thinking that she's like better than everybody, like in their relationships and stuff, because she's already was like, and he don't need to be hanging around them because the way Zane was talking and woo. So but she went over and talked to the ladies, and the ladies seemed to be like welcoming her. She mentioned that she want to be like her Rashida. We was talking about that.
Right.
Like, I don't know why she say that.
Right. That's what had me thinking that maybe something did go on or whatever, because like I don't know who wants to have a relationship like Kirk and Rashida's. Like everything that we've seen thus far with all the infidelity and like them breaking up almost every season, like that's something that I want to be like. And like being a ride or die doesn't mean that you have to be in a toxic relationship. Like, I don't know.
It is like I wouldn't want to be in a 30-year relationship and go through all that.
Right. Go through hell.
Absolutely not.
She got all these, she looks stressed. She got all these bags and stuff up under her eyes. Like, listen, Kurt.
Because she's still going through it.
Right. Leave that woman alone
with him.
Right.
I just feel like Rashida's too deep in that she's just like gonna deal with whatever. And I feel like he knows that. Like, even with him, like, well, I don't want to jump around, but yeah, I don't know.
Kirk and Rashida, so we might as well talk about it.
Yeah. So like even with him bringing up the fact that he wants to take full custody of Cannon, and I'm like, did you talk about this with her first and see how? Because like she said, like this is going to disrupt. I don't know if she used the word disrupt, but it's going to change our family dynamic. It's something that we have to talk about because we're bringing a whole nother kid in. We have to make sure he has his bedroom. We have to see what schools he's going to, if he's going to change schools, if we don't, it's a lot that goes into that. You don't just say,
yeah, but she didn't say all of that because
she did it.
We talked about this, and I just feel like she don't want to have nothing to do with Cannon. Yeah. I just feel like she definitely, like, I get it. He was a baby that was had on the side or whatever, but like my take, like the way she acts and like her mannerisms, it just gives that she doesn't want to be bothered with him. And I just feel like, why say you're gonna stay in a relationship if you're not really gonna like try to like really love and like treat his kid like he's your own,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I agree. I feel like if she said yes to, not say yes, but like if she decided to stay with him, she has to accept the child. Now we don't know. We haven't really seen their family dynamic, but it, like Katrina said, she doesn't seem too giddy about when they speak about him in the whole situation, and which I understand, because at the same time, even if I say I'm going to accept this child and I'm going to stay with you, it's still a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
And
but I think, go ahead.
And I was going to say, and every time it's not like, I think it would be different too if his mother was a little more like less her. I don't even know what word to use. Like, I feel like if she was more reasonable and if she was more of a good co-parent, I think it would make it better for Rashida, because I feel like she turns her nose up because she knows at the end of the day she has to deal with her. And I feel like she said that before. Cannon ain't the problem. It's his mama.
So this is what I think. I feel like the reasoning behind Kirk wanting to have full custody of Cannon is because he feels like his mother is not doing everything that she needs to do for him. Right. I feel like the fact that he's telling her, hey, you know what, I really want to get full custody of my son because I want him to be in a better situation. Right. I feel like she could have been more supportive as of telling him the negative. Like, you know, like if it's to help his son to have a more healthy living situation, then okay, we just gotta shuffle some stuff around. Like, I mean, he should be coming over there to visit anyway, so you should already have a space for him when he comes to your house, you know?
So, no, I agree. I do feel like it would be jarring though at the same time. Like, I'm just looking at it as like,
it would definitely be an adjustment.
Too hard on her because I feel like it's unrealistic for her to be excited. Like, I feel like that's.
I never said excited.
Because I feel like sometimes you go through hard situations and you may not do it with a smile on your face, but you're going to do it at the end of the day. Like, you're going to do what you have to do. I don't see her being rude or mean to him and not giving him a cookie if she gave her son a cookie. Like, I don't see her treating him poorly, but I feel like amongst the adults, like, she's always taking a stance on, y'all need to get y'all stuff together to make this better. And then you let me know what we going to do.
Right. But even that, like, I don't like, because you and Kirk are a unit. Like, I get it. Yeah. That's the side chick or whatever. But like, whatever you want him to tell you what decisions he's making. But then you also say, whatever y'all doing is what y'all doing. Like, make up your mind. Are you?
That's true.
Or are you not
involved? And that's what Jasmine is asking for too. She's like, I actually want to talk to Rashida, but it's like, girl, you don't make it easy for her to talk to you because you always on the internet talking mess, or you say stuff behind their back, or you making up stuff, or we don't know if you're making it up. It could be the truth.
Right. But that's what she chose to accept. When she accepted Kirk and took him back,
I think that's the part that crazy baby mama. I think that's the part she's regretting.
Yeah. Agreed. Probably.
If he had a better baby mama, I feel like it would just make this all a whole lot easier. Like, what I'm saying is Jasmine is not helping her case. Jasmine is like, oh, I just wish Rashida would talk to me. Okay, well, stop bumping your gums on the internet. It'd be cool. Just be cool. Like, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all Kirk's fault because he knew he was messing with a mixie, and this is what happens when you do that.
Not a mixie.
Girl, that's what she is. I have to bring it back to the Black Ink days because she's definitely giving mixie.
Oh Lord.
So then we have Scrappy's baby shower. And Mama D throws this baby shower for Scrappy's new baby mama. And they kind of like talk about like who's gonna come and stuff like that. Bambi's not with it. Erica is there. Sierra comes to the baby shower. Scrappy's new baby mama is not with it because she's like, she's Bambi's friend. Like, why is she here? And so
she's like talking about how it's weird or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I think it's weird that she's here. And I'm like, I don't necessarily know if it's weird, but Mama D invited her. So
Mama D invited her, and it's not like her and Scrappy have beef. Like, granted, he does ride for Bambi, but like, I don't know. I just feel like that interaction was weird. Like,
it was weird. But remember Scrappy and Sierra had got into it last season.
Yeah, but that was before they was together. Who? Like, you don't drag her and they're not even together. That was before him and the threesome happened.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that's why Scrappy might have been confused as to why Sierra was there too, because it's like, we ain't even been cool like that. Like, So, and he didn't invite her. So he doesn't know that Mama D invited her. So, but then it seemed like he was cool.
Right.
Once conversation, he was like,
she came with good vibe. She brought a gift. Like,
she was like, I'm not here on no messy stuff. I'm just here to support. I brought a gift. Like, I'm cool. If y'all cool, I'm cool. And so he was like, no, Sierra, I don't want you to leave. But the baby mom, I think she, as the outside looking in, she's probably looking like, Bambi, if you wanted to see what was going on, you should have came yourself and not send your friend. Because it looks as though Sierra was sent by Bambi. It's probably what she's thinking.
But she clearly don't watch. Well, she clearly don't watch the show or whatever. Because if she watched the show, she would know that she has a messy. It won't even call her mother-in-law, but whatever kind of in-law. Because Bambi had nothing to do with it. Granted, Sierra was gonna go back and tell the tea, but if Mama D had never called her, she wouldn't even known about the baby shower.
Exactly. Exactly. And they couldn't even get that far. She couldn't even tell her Mama D invited her. So the girl is just already on defense. And so I feel Sierra like, why you mad at me? His real baby mama is sitting right there. Like, have a conversation. Like, why are you worried about me? I'm just here with my little cocktail, and I brought you a gift.
Right. And they get into it because she like, I don't got a problem with the baby mama and it's like, so what's
the problem?
Listen, I'm here with good vibes. Like, I was invited. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Yeah, like, she could have definitely told Mama D, I need to see your guest list before she agreed to the baby shower.
Right. She did put her foot down with Mama D when she came over and wanted to have a conversation with Erica. And Mama D is like, yeah, we all need to talk. And she's like, no, I got this. So I did like that. You already establishing your boundaries with her because she probably, she's seen how Mama D could do.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go have a conversation. Sierra, Erica and the girl have their conversation, and it seems to be cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Erica is really cool, or do she feel some type of way? Because her and Scrappy was like hanging out.
Right. I think she feels some type of way. I think she was there for the tea too, but she's still trying to be cool with Mama D, so that's why she went.
Yeah, I agree.
She keep trying to portray this image that she's not mad. So for her not to go would make it look like she was mad.
Right. Because you was just saying in like the first part of the season how you guys are like real cool and you could see yourself like, being with him again, but he got to figure some things out. And all the while, he went on a whole dating show while y'all was doing y'all thing and had a whole situation. So I'm pretty sure she feels some type of way. She's just trying to save face.
Yeah, for sure.
So
then Sierra comes over. How did Sierra get in the conversation? I don't even remember how.
She just kind of like butted in, like they were talking or whatever, and she came over, she butted in, and she was just like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna go." She was like, "It's giving weird energy. Like I feel like you was coming for me." She was like, "I feel tried, and I don't like feeling tried, so I'm just gonna leave." And then the girl was just like, "Well, I wasn't trying you. I was." She was like, "Girl, yes, you did." And so she hugged Erica, whatever, like, "Okay, bye, sis," whatever. And they kind of had a little interaction. To where Sierra
they apologized or whatever.
Yeah, they apologized. She was like, I'm not here on no funny business. Like Bambi did not send me here for this. She was like, she's actually cool. She wants the kids to be, they're gonna be siblings. She
said she was telling her about the baby.
Yeah, she already was telling the kids and getting them prepared about their new sibling. So she was like, I don't want you to feel like there's any animosity coming from this side. After she said that, she kind of let her guard down. They did a little exchange. They was cool. So then Erica is like, well, since you're talking to her, you need to tell her that she needs to apologize to Imani. And then Sierra's kind of like, well, okay, well, I could talk to her.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Bambi, anything coming from Erica is going to piss Bambi off. Like, it don't matter. Erica could say, girl, you look so beautiful, and it's going to piss Bambi off because they just have that hate relationship since the beginning. They've never been
history. It's the history of it.
Good. Yeah,
because it didn't start off well. And so Erica tells everybody that Bambi was cheating with him, was like with Scrappy when they were together. And Bambi said that they were already broken up.
Right.
So
and then Bambi already has the hot tub image, so it doesn't help the fact that Erica is trying to call her a side chick.
Right. And Scrappy married Bambi.
Right. Like when Erica and them have been together for years.
And Erica's like, well, he gave me a ring first and I gave it back. But I think she still feels some type of way about he actually married her. They had their children in wedlock. Like that's something that she has over her. And I feel like they're going to always bump heads. And then Imani feels like she has to stand up for her mom.
Right.
And so they always going to get into Imani is an adult now. And so the whole thing erupted because Sierra goes to the car, calls Bambi and tells her like she thinks you need to apologize to Imani. She's like, I ain't doing nothing. And so she goes off about how she's not apologizing and they need to apologize and F everybody. And then the new baby mama got thrown into it. She said F her too.
Right, because Bambi was like, I'm over here trying to be cool and you saying all of this stuff. Like, I'm over it. I get it. Like, nope, I think like I'm really sitting over here trying and you wanna be a dick. Like, why would you do that? Like,
right, because Erica could have left that alone. Like, let this moment be about whatever they got going on. If you have an issue with Bambi, you go talk to her.
Right, you've had so much opportunity to talk to her. Why bring it up now? And then, so we was talking earlier, and we're talking about how the whole issue happened because Imani was venting to Bambi about her mom, and then they got into it, and Bambi goes and puts whatever she was saying about Erica on the internet. And I just feel like the dynamic that Erica has shown, Sophie, the dynamic that Erica and has shown with her and Imani, like not even talking, like I do feel like Imani probably was going and venting to Bambi. Like granted, Bambi is the adult in the situation. She shouldn't have went on the internet and posted it, but like I feel like because Imani like flip-flops, it kind of hurts Bambi because she being there for her, like, you know, doing all of this stuff, and then your mama say something and then you go flip and try to air me out on the internet, you know?
Calling her that lady and all this stuff. And she said that is what pissed her off the most because she was doing for her. Like, you know, she was at their house all the time. And so it seemed like they had a good relationship. And I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like, because my mom hates you, I have to act like I hate you too.
Right. And that's sad.
It is sad because your mom can grow up after all these years. And I feel like Bambi's the type of person that she just is a no BS type person. Right. And so it's just, Erica irritates her because Erica do play games. Like, I just feel like the whole situation just be super messy because she plays games. And so I think that pisses off Bambi. Yeah. Because Bambi is very much like, at the end of the day, we all got kids with this man. So we don't have to be cool, but we need to make sure our children know their siblings and they're comfortable with their siblings and that their dad is present in their life. Right. And so I feel like
that's how it should be. Like that's the mentality that I want Rashida to have. Yeah. Like, me and you, we don't have to be cool. We just need to make sure that these kids are taken care of. We could be, listen, let's just be cordial. Say hi and bye. Like, it don't have to be no beef. Like, you know?
But I feel like the problem with Erica was Erica still wanted Scrappy.
Right. And it shows because as soon as him and Bambi was over, she slid right on back in trying to be bestie. Yeah. But they was beefing a week ago when him and Bambi was together. Like,
yep. I think she was upset because everything that she wanted, she had to watch on her TV screen.
It's giving pick me.
Yes, very much so. And because ever since she broke up with Scrappy, she has not had a main character role on that show.
No.
And Bambi, after the whole hot tub scene, once she came on as herself, she has always given main character energy. She always has things going on. Things are highlighted with her. She has actual friends on the show. She has people to film with. And
she got stuff regardless of Scrappy.
Aside from him, she kept the party moving. And so I think that really burns Erica's bridges.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Right. All right, so let's go on to RHONY.
Yes.
Let's touch it.
So we're going back to RHONY. Of course, it's about Brynn again. They bring up the angry Black woman comment that she made to Ubah. I thought it was really interesting. Because
listen, we talked about this too, the angry Black woman comment. Yes. It's interesting that she's like, I identify as a Black woman, and I.
But did you notice how she could barely say it?
What?
She was like, I identify as a Black woman. Like when she said, I am a Black woman. Go back and watch that scene, y'all. She couldn't even say it with her money. Huh? I said, go back and watch that scene, you guys, because she couldn't even say it clearly with her chest. Like, I'm a Black woman. Like, girl, do you?
Right. Listen, identifying as a Black woman might mess up her money because she definitely could pass as a white woman.
Because when she went back in and said, as a biracial woman, she said that very clearly because I feel like that's who she identifies as is a biracial woman. And that's okay.
That's fine. Right.
But just don't come for Ubah and put a stigma on her and label her as an angry Black woman because nobody else said that but you. She's a woman with emotions just like everybody else on this show.
Right. And if you identify as a biracial woman, can you really identify with the Black woman's plight? Like, don't try to come for her and call her angry and all of this stuff because it doesn't mean the same thing when you say it about a Black woman as if you would say it's about you or a white woman. So like,
And also Ubah is not African American. No. A lot of times people from other countries and stuff, they don't have that same like mentality because they know who they are. They know where they come from. They're quick to tell people like, well, I'm this, I'm that. Like, Ubah has a different way of life. Like she said, like, I don't have those type of experiences.
Right.
And I don't think she's trying to negate the Black woman, the African-American woman's experience. And I'm sure other women from other countries and stuff have those experiences too. But because she was raised in a different country, I feel like it's different.
Right. And honestly, like every American Black woman doesn't have that same experience.
Exactly. And nobody, I don't feel like any of the other ladies have put that on Ubah either. They may say like, well, you don't want to get her upset, but also the same thing could be said about Brynn, because you know what I'm saying, she goes off and she does her thing, and Aaron the same thing.
Or any of them. Anybody that gets angry is gonna act angry. And honestly, I can see if Ubah was just mad to be mad, but every time Ubah has had an outburst or been upset, it's provoked. Like she ain't just walking around looking for something. And I was happy that Ubah checked her. Like, you don't get to call me an angry Black woman and put this stigma on me. Like, I've never been angry in my life. And like, it's so, because like even with the whole situation about her claiming that she knew about the grape, like she still said, look, I forgive you. I hug you. Like, listen,
you pissed her off.
Right.
Like if somebody's coming for your care, and I think Brynn does not understand the weight of the things that she says. Or maybe she does, and she does it on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like that's how she tries to pretend. She knows what she says carries weight. She's a freaking publicist. Like, you know, words carry. So you can't just say any single thing. And as a publicist, putting that on Ubah, she should have known the effect that it can have on her livelihood and the effect that it can have on her getting jobs and anything, you know, like she's a freaking model.
Especially if you identify as a Black woman.
Right. She's a freaking model. Like her reputation hinges on everything. Like, you know,
and if you really cared about her not looking like the angry Black woman, you would have told her off camera.
Right.
You would have had code words like her and Sai. I feel like Ubah and Sai look out for each other, and they can speak to each other without even saying anything.
Right.
Like the moment when they were sitting out at the table, Ubah was getting hot, and Sai was like, okay, whatever she said to her.
Pineapples.
She said pineapples. Ubah straightened up because they already had that conversation off camera.
Right.
Like, Brynn, you were highlighting something negative and putting that on her. And I feel like we talked about this before with her picking at her. She's sitting at the table, minding her business. Who cares if she's on her phone? Everybody else is talking to you. You need the attention from every single person at the table.
Yeah. She gives pick me too.
Yeah. And Ubah is with a billionaire. She does not care about whatever y'all have going on. I feel like that's
why she's so mad, because she over here struggling, and Ubah is living very comfortably in Connecticut with her billionaire bae who don't care about 11 a.m. Right, who loves her regardless of anything. I wake up at 11 a.m. and he brings me tea.
She ate with that because it's like, how dare you? First of all, how dare you think you know my man enough?
Right.
And she was like, and I love that she said this, because I think a lot of women like Brynn who feel like they have to earn people's respect, or they have to make people like them, where someone like Ubah is comfortable in who she is, and she understands that the man that she's with loves her for who she is, because she's been nothing but herself with him.
Right. And that's the difference.
That's foreign to Brynn.
Right. She just wants people to like her. So she'll shapeshift it to be whatever that person needs. And Ubah's like, this is who I am. If you don't like me, oh well.
And that's what he likes about her. That he doesn't have to guess who she is. I'm just assuming. Yeah. Usually men who love you for who you are is because they like who you are. Right. He probably likes the feistiness of who she is and how she stands firm on what she believes in and what she says. And like she said, he likes all of this. I could wake up at 11 a.m. I could do whatever I want to do, and he loves it.
Right.
So how about them apples? And Brynn was just like, I love it for you. You're a hater.
You little liar.
You're jealous.
Yeah.
And they look really good together. I saw a picture of them.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
She seems happy.
So then we go to Rebecca, and everybody's like coming at her for using the platform for her business. And I'm like,
everybody does
to do.
Right. Everybody does. If you're not using this platform for your business, what are you really
doing? It wrong.
Right. Sai, the first season, all she talked about is her being an influencer and posting on Instagram.
Jessel as well.
Right. So like what? Freaking why you not coming for Erin? She talking about her Moscow Mule, how she colonized it and brought it over to America.
Her Moscow Mule.
Right.
Moscow.
Right. Like, come on.
No, but for real, they all do it. Jenna talks about herself. She's gifting people things all the time from the brands that she works with. Like, listen, if you're, like you said, if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong. But the thing about Brynn, even when Sai asked her, like, I still don't know what you do.
Right. Nobody knows.
You're the only one who doesn't talk about what you do for whatever reason.
Because she doesn't do
maybe
anything.
You do get money from men. We don't know because you won't tell us what you do. You told us what you've done in the past, where you worked on the past, but we don't know how you currently make your money.
Right. And that's why people can say that she's likes lollipops and that's how she gets paid.
Yep. Yeah. Literally everybody else on the platform has spoken about what they have going on. So I think she just needs to figure out what she wants to do with her life so she can have something to talk about.
Right.
Other than everybody else's business.
The fertility storyline fell flat, especially when the man who wanted to fertilize your eggs couldn't even be bothered enough to go to the sperm bank and deposit the sperm.
It's so sad. I see why she acts the way that she does because it's just really sad.
Yeah, and nobody shows up for her.
Huh?
Nobody shows up for her, and that's what's sad. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry for the sniffles, you guys. I'm getting over a cold. I realized I just sniffled in the mic.
We didn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rebecca had her short stint on the stage, and then she exited, and nobody cared. I felt kind of bad. Like it was kind of sad.
So well, Erin was her only friend, and they had beef.
Yeah. So she was like, "Okay, well, do I just get up now?" And he's like, "Yeah, you could go." And she's like, "Well, bye guys," and everybody just carries on with their conversation. I'm just like, oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, but she really didn't like add a lot to the show anyway, so
she didn't. She had the one little prank thing that was like about her, but everything else is just kind of like fell flat. So
yeah. But honestly, at the beginning of the season, that was probably the most entertaining thing, the prank.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So now what I did think also was interesting is like when it came to the conversation about Ubah and what did she do? She had
they went to the beach and and she was talking about that it was dirty and don't get in the water and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So they talked about that on the stage and basically wanting an apology from her for being disrespectful and not being aware of the things that she was saying and how it was hurtful to, I can't remember that lady name.
Yeah, I don't know her name either. But they were talking about, I think it was more about Puerto Rico and like how they're trying to get more people to come to Puerto Rico and her talking about the beach like that is a bad light, puts Puerto Rico in a bad
light on it. And I thought it was like not good that she could not recognize that and just own up and say, I apologize if I offended you, I offended your country. You know, I was disgusted by the birds floating in the water. Like that was jarring to me. And I did think it was gross, but I didn't have to make a scene and a spectacle. But she was just like, well, that's just who I am. And I can't be anybody but myself. And I love Puerto Rico. I go there all the time. I remember she said before, I probably go to Puerto Rico more than you. And
I feel like she did like do like a half apology.
Yeah. It could have been more distinct. She could have just said, I apologize. I didn't have to act out, but she kept trying to defend what she was doing. She was just like, well, I wasn't telling everybody not to get in the water. I was telling Sai not to get in that specific water. And there's like, no, you told her not to swim in the ocean. She's like, I didn't say that.
Yeah, her name is Raquel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was pretty much like, I'm sorry if I disrespected your memory of this beach.
Yeah.
But I still stand by the beach being dirty.
Right. Right. She was like, it was a dead bird.
I mean, listen, I get it, but Ubah, you don't always got to say everything that comes to your head. I'm still working on that too, but like,
yeah, I'm like, I feel like she could have just said, I'm sorry.
You could have just been like, I'm not going to get in the water. Like, if you've been to California, I don't know where you guys are watching from, but if you come to California beaches, we don't get in the water because it's nasty.
Unless you go to Newport Beach, is pretty clean. But if you go on to Dockwalla,
right,
or Santa Monica,
or Venice,
not.
Yeah,
Venice Beach. I don't even think I've walked to the water at Venice Beach because I know it's nasty.
Right. If you ain't going to the beach in the OC, you probably should not get in the water. Like,
no, at all. For the people that come and you think you're going to frolic, don't go there. You can go to Malibu.
Right. And my dad said when I was younger, he wouldn't let me get in the water because you would literally come out the water sticky because it was so much crap in the ocean.
You could see the trash, the dirt. Now, if you go to Crystal Cove in Newport Beach, the water is blue. It's pretty. Like, that's where I go and take my kids. I let my kids get in the water over there. But most of the beaches,
yeah,
nasty beach.
Right. So, yeah. So, like, just keep that in your mind. Just, you don't do it. Like, listen.
Yeah, she didn't have to make a scene, but Ubah, when has Ubah not made a scene? It's just her. So I get what she was saying about like that's who I am. Like she has a really big personality. She says what comes to her mind. It doesn't make it okay. Right. Like a lot of times, I want to say that the things that first come to me and Katrina have gotten in trouble many a times.
I've gotten in trouble.
Yeah, she has, and I get in trouble for laughing.
Right, she gets in trouble by association.
Right, you don't want us sitting together at any event where it's gonna be something happening that's gonna
something serious. No weddings, no funerals, because we gonna be giggling.
Right. And so we understand. Sometimes you want to say what comes to your mind, but you got to have a little couth. And I feel like Ubah, she don't like taking accountability with that type of stuff.
Yeah, she definitely lacks couth in certain situations.
Right. So Brynn has another breakdown about they finally get to her lies. And she basically is just crying because she feels attacked. And she's like, you guys, this is too bad.
She tried to turn herself back into the victim. They've been holding her accountable all episode, and she's trying to flip it and be the victim again.
Right.
And eventually Ubah's just like, look, I forgive you because it's for me. Like, I don't want to be this person harboring this anger. So I forgive you, but it is going to take a long time for us to ever get back to a friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the other ladies, they were kind of like, I don't care.
No. Right. The only reason why they felt bad is because it was like nobody was like talking to her afterwards. Had like somebody gone up to her and been like, you okay, Brynn? Then they probably would have still been like, I don't care.
Right. And even like Brynn plays the victim so much that even with like they made it very clear that what we're talking about is absolutely separate from what you went through. We are not saying that you didn't go through what you went through, and it's very sad that you went through that, and our heart goes out to you for what you went through. But you looping in somebody else and accusing them of something attached to that is not okay.
Yeah.
And she kept, you guys don't care about us. Like, girl, no, nobody's saying that. They made it very clear before they talked about anything else that nobody is negating your experience. But she had to put the tears in there because she was sinking under and nobody's been talking to her. Erin seemed like she wanted to go talk to her. And then Sai was just like,
Sai was over her. She's like, girl, I'm not kissing nobody's butt, okay? No, even like afterwards, even after the whole victim thing, they went to the dressing room to do whatever. They came back and was hugging, and Sai was still like, girl, you wrong, okay? Yeah. And you need to get your stuff together. And Brynn's like, well, I miss the kids and I want to come over. She's like, come over, but you still wrong. Like, I'm not gonna not hold you accountable.
Yeah. Right. I feel like everybody did a good job of holding her accountable though this time, even Jenna. Which I was surprised by because Jenna was like, but I think she couldn't not be with what was directly in her face.
Yeah, her not holding Brynn accountable would have made Jenna look bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's get on over to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Girl, I forgot we got a whole nother show. I thought we was done.
No. So listen, we said we was gonna touch on Salt Lake City, but we not.
No.
It wasn't nothing to talk about. We reaching, okay?
Right. We ain't talking about Brittany. She was just thirsty to be there, child. She was mad they didn't let her end out the show with her beer. But
We're gonna
that's
pay
all
her
it was
dust.
about.
Pay her dust, okay? Moving on.
Well, on Beverly Hills, so we got Mauricio and Kyle going to him to take her out shooting. And I actually really like this scene because I feel like that's what a husband should do, regardless of like if they're together or not. He's like, listen, you about to be in this house you are in this house by yourself. I'm not there. You need to be able to protect yourself. And it was a really hard scene to watch because like I hate that they're
see the love.
On both sides.
Mm-hmm.
On both sides. You could really see the love. Like you could tell he was hurt that she was hurt. And
I think they really just need to sit down and have an honest conversation. Like, this is not something that they can't work through. They clearly love each other, especially like the relationship between Mauricio and Kyle and PK and Dorit is night and day. Like, PK, on this season, he's giving, I don't care about Dorit at all. I don't even know this woman. Maurice is still stopping by, taking her to go shoot, like all these things.
Yeah,
like,
the way he hugs her.
Right.
I feel like Mauricio and Kyle need like a Nene and Greg type situation where they take some time apart, go soul searching, get it out, do whatever you need to do, and then let's reconvene in a year.
Right.
And let's see where we are.
Supposedly, this is just supposed to be a 6-month break, and that's why she was pissed that he was buying furniture and not just getting his condo staged.
Right.
Because like, buy the condo, we can use the condo as a rental property. That's not my issue. The issue is you are making this permanent. Why are you buying furniture?
But also I understand like he's accustomed to a certain way of living and like, but like she said, he could have staged it. He could have staged it. Yeah.
I ain't saying sleep on the air mattress. I'm saying hire a stager and tell them that you need the furniture for 6 months. And then at the end of the 6 months, then once we decide what we're gonna do, then you could go buy you some furniture.
But I think also Mauricio is entertaining women.
Definitely.
He has to have his place a certain way. But I don't think that's gonna last long. I think he's already like, well, I hope maybe this is wishful thinking that he can go out there and do his thing and see that it's not as fulfilling as he thought it would be. And
he already sees that.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you getting old. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to just be with your wife and vacation with her and like, do all the things that you guys have done all these years?
But also, Kyle is not the same person that she's been all these years. That's true. Like he said that she said that now that she's not drinking, like she's not the same person at the parties for the agency and all of this stuff. And like that takes a toll too. Like it's not that like it's hard because he's used to this person for over 20 years and now you're different. So it's like there's an adjustment phase for him. Like she can't be mad because he's taken a while to adjust to this new person because you are the one that decided to change. This person, you've been the same person for 20 years. This is the person that I married, I fell in love with, and now you decide to change. And granted, it's for the best, but like you can't expect for me to just flip it on just like you decided to. Like
it's still an adjustment.
Right. I'm still gonna mourn the person that I had before because that's the person that I fell in love with,
Right.
So
yeah, I agree. I think it's all an adjustment and he's making a lot of money. His life looks different now. And it's just like that fast life of having women and going here and jetting off here and jetting off there. She can't do that all the time because she has responsibilities at home. We have a 17, 16-year-old daughter. Like we have other things going on. She has her own business stuff going on. And I think she's not readily available for him. Like when he goes on these trips, she can't always go. And I think it does bother him because he wants her by his side. But it's like, you don't have a trophy wife. Like you have a wife that also works and has her own like stuff going on. And so I think all those dynamics that weren't there before build up over time. The same things happen with PK and Dorit. PK is like, girl, you are a different lady. Like you,
especially after that break-in, that's when it flipped for them. I feel like
I think it happened before that because I feel like he's mentioned before about how she's so focused on like her look and like her image and like ever since she's been on this show, it's like everything's shifted. Before it was all about the family, it was all about him. Even when she first came on the show, remember she would marvel at him and she would be like, "Oh, PK." he was her whole world. Now it's all about her and like everything that she has going on. So I think that was a shift for him too. He's like, who is this lady? Like, this is not the same woman I married. So
I don't know.
Okay, so they go to Augusta. Now, do we think what's her name? Mama is racist?
Absolutely. She is.
Even the way she greeted Kyle versus how she greeted Garcelle.
Yeah. She like, who is this black lady and why is she at the house? Like,
and why is she hugging me?
Right. And then like the fact that she's like all warm and fuzzy with Kyle, and then Garcelle brings her a gift. She's being so nice to her, and she's just like, girl, you got me a scarf. What am I supposed to do with this? Like,
I'll wear it as a sarong, and then it's back to the box. And I'm like, Garcelle, are you picking up what she's putting down? Because you acting like you oblivious to what's going on here. You are in Augusta, Georgia.
Right. The country.
The country.
Okay. So so while they're in Augusta, it's like panning back and forth from Augusta to Kathy's dinner. And listen,
Kathy is unhinged.
Right. And it's not even like she's purposely unhinged. Like she just is in La La Land all the time, and she just makes appearances on Earth. Like
PJ. She said, "Yeah, so what's going on with PJ?"
She calls him PJ, but then in like the next scene, she's like, "Oh yeah, and I've known PK for so long. Like, how you know him for so long? You don't know his name."
So Dorit said, they asked him, well, I think she said, well, you know, he's a good father. She was like, is he?
Yeah, like Dorit implied that he wasn't a good father. I don't think that's okay. Like, even if y'all mad right now, like y'all will I would hope y'all would get to a point to where y'all would be able to be cordial and maybe even friends. So you don't want to put it out there that he's a bad father. Like, because you know not
that way.
Yeah. And I don't think that he is. Well, so I saw this too. Like, granted, she could be telling the truth, because how you going away for months to London and you got young kids? Right. Like, when are you being there for them if you are constantly away from home?
Right.
So I don't know.
That's where I kind of felt what she was saying, because I don't think it's right for her to bash him on TV. I think her feelings are her feelings, and not saying her feelings are valid. But knowing that her kids are seeing the internet, they're seeing TV somehow, because if her son is asking about the divorce, he saw it somewhere. Right. So knowing that my children have access and they would probably see this, I would not say that on camera.
Right. Like, you still need to protect them, because even like if they see that, they're gonna be like, well, why is my dad a bad dad? Or like if they know about the divorce, they probably would go to him and be like, oh, so mom says you're a bad dad. Like, you know.
And I get not wanting to protect him anymore, but you're still obligated to protect your children. And until they get of a certain age where they can actually understand what's going on, I would never say anything like that, even if that's how I felt. Not on camera. Like, you can tell your homegirls that, like, you know, he don't be showing up for us. Like, he don't really check in on the kids like that. Like, he don't send for them.
That's a conversation she needed to have with like Erica and Bose separately.
Off camera.
Right. Like, those are her real friends. I don't even think her and Kathy are really friends like that.
No.
Yeah. I think it's good for the show. And I think Kathy brings a lot to the table, but yeah, I don't think that they're actually friends. I would think Kathy and Sutton would be more friends than her and Dorit.
Yeah. Kathy be in her own world. Like you said, she just be in La La Land.
Right.
She gonna say, they asked how old PK was.
No, Dorit was saying something, and she was like, PK is 56 years old. And then Kathy said,
Dorit said that. Yeah. And then Kathy goes, I thought he was 56 when I met him.
Like, I've known PK for years, and I thought he was 56 back then.
And Bo's gonna say, dang, that was shade. I love Bose. Bose. I love that she's on the show, because she is completely herself. Like, she's like, what?
Yeah. Like, I think she said something else about them too. I forgot what she said, because both I think they just laughed at the 56 comment, but she said something else about PK, and Bose was like, oh, that's shade.
Right. So then Dorit explains how PK sent her a 7-page email breaking down the finances, saying how she needs to take over the mortgage. I
want to know how she came up with 7 pages, because emails don't be having page numbers. So was it just hella long, or was it like, did she put it in Word and then it came up as 7 pages?
I'm sure she counted. However, she said it was 7 pages. But so they're supposed to be doing a separation. If we're only doing a separation, why are you breaking down our finances and trying to divvy up stuff? Like,
right, and tell me what I need to
pay for, what I'm responsible to pay for. And mind you, your kids are living with me. So why am I responsible to pay for everything?
Right.
Like, that's insane. And I'm happy that they were honest with her. Like, girl, this is not a man he doesn't speak like a man who is trying to work things out or wants to get back together.
Yeah, I'm glad that Erica, Bose, and even Kathy had a real conversation. Like, girl, you need to get you a lawyer and you need to really figure out what you're gonna do. Yeah, and she needs to try to prolong this low marriage until she gets to the 10-year mark. Don't be doing no separation and nothing like that until you get to 10 years.
I would have found out one piece of paperwork. You only got 6 months left.
Right.
Girl, you better stall me out.
I heard that he did the same thing with his last wife. He was married to the first wife before Dorit for only 9 years, and they had kids together. So clearly, this is a strategy of his. Like,
they say he liked the young things, and she getting up in their age now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's trifling. But I do love that Erica was very honest with her and was like, "Listen, you need to get ahead of this. I'm telling you what I should have done because I was naive too. And I'm sitting around thinking like, oh, we're going to work things out. And he's already probably drafting up paperwork. If he's sending you emails, breaking down your finances and divvying up stuff of what you're responsible to pay for, that is not a separation. That is a divorce.
Right. Girl, I just rewound it back. She was talking about the 56 years old was the shade.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, shade.
Right.
But the funny part about Kathy don't even know half the time when she's throwing shade.
No, she's not intentionally throwing shade. That's really her recollection. No, so what I was talking about what Kathy said is when she said she went to Italy and she met some lady who told her that she was Chinese from 3000 BC. Like, that girl, what?
Everybody was kind of like,
right.
Like, Kathy, what are you talking about? And that's why Kyle be like, Kathy.
Right.
She's like, okay, that's enough.
She said she was Italian, and then her ancestry goes back to China from 3000 BC. I said,
girl,
Kathy, please. And Erica's like, so what'd you do? 23andMe or Ancestry.com? She said, no, I talked to this lady in Italy.
Like, how did she get your information, ma'am?
Right. Is she a psychic? Like, how does she know your lineage without running no DNA or anything? Like,
child, that was a mess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't follow Dorit, but I need to see what's going on like currently because
she got a new boo.
I'm sorry if y'all can hear my son. He's yelling and clapping, but she got a new boo. So
yeah. I
wonder, is it 10 years up? Did she hold out?
Well, I don't know. It depends on when this season was filmed. I would imagine it would be up because, they usually have to take a while to edit. Because I was looking at this preview for Summer House and they were saying that that after the reunion, they started filming like 2 months later. So, yeah, I would think it would be 6 months, if not close enough.
Right, especially she out there dating and stuff. But sometimes, that don't, even if they are out separated and dating and stuff, the divorce could still not be final.
Yeah, if they don't have a legal separation, I don't think it counts, right?
It don't count unless they divorce.
Right. Look, if we got any lawyers watching, put it in the comment what is real. Because we don't know. We speculating.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. They say if you married for 10 years, you're automatically entitled to have. That's
California though.
I mean California, sorry. California. Because in them other states, they don't care what you got going on.
Right. Because the baby mamas be getting more than the wives. Like, I don't know if you like it's some NBA players who's paying their baby mamas like $100,000 a month. And then I don't know if you heard like Mustard, like she was originally his ex-wife was going for like $80,000. I think she only got maybe like $25,000 or like $40,000 a month for her 3 kids.
And wasn't they? Well, I don't know how long they never got married.
They did get married,
but they weren't married for 10 years.
No, I feel like they got married and then like maybe 6 months later they was filing for a divorce. But she also signed a prenup too.
Oh.
But this is child support I'm talking about, not alimony. Because she got like a lump sum of like $200,000.
Because they said alimony for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the good thing about California. As in California, if you are married more than 10 years, you get alimony as long as it's for the rest of your life or until you get married to somebody else. So if you get married to somebody else, then your alimony with that other person stops.
Sudden probably never gonna get married.
No. But I don't know if she had a divorce in California because she was from
Georgia. She was from Georgia.
Yeah.
So. Interesting.
And she probably got so much money because they started from the bottom and then he got rich.
Right. So, and that's why I'm like
when they got married, I don't think they had a prenup. So that's how she got all her money and she getting alimony. Because I'm sure if he was rich when they got married, making as much money as Sudden claims that she has, she definitely would have been signing the prenup.
Right. And like same thing with Kyle, like people are like telling her what she should and shouldn't do. It's like she was there from the beginning. They didn't have no money when they got together. And they've been married for 20-something years, I feel like. So she'll be fine.
Yeah. And that's why they're not in a rush to get divorced, especially Mauricio. Like, listen, I know as hard as I worked, granted, she's worked too because she's been a stay-at-home mom all this time, helping him run his business, helping him get clients. Because
I'm like, a lot of his contacts in the beginning was from her, the people that she knew.
Right. So I'm sure he's not in a rush to split his assets either and pay that alimony.
Absolutely not. And that's why you'll see like couples in Hollywood and stuff. Like look at Will and Jada. They was like, they'll never get a divorce. They might live separate lives, but they're never getting a divorce. Like there's a lot of couples like that in like the entertainment business because it's just too much to split up.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
If I can go out and still date other women, why would I get a divorce? Like
so I technically owe you now? No, you can have access to whatever you need.
Right.
Because you can't spend it all.
Right.
Yeah. But all right, that's all we got.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's all we got. We hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Please comment. You guys have a comment. Please comment. We would love to talk to you guys in the comments. And also make sure you're checking Instagram because we always post Instagram and TikTok and YouTube shorts. We share like little clips of the episodes. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. And we will see you guys next week, possibly. So the Sunday shows are not coming on this week because of the Super Bowl. So we probably will not have an episode Tuesday. We might go live, but we will for sure have an episode on Friday.
Yes.
So just be on Instagram to keep up with the updates.
Yes.